Maybe all of you got this Mission 2030 document when you arrived here this morning. And I think this is one of the most important developments in TAFISA recently. It was adopted in the last Congress in Seoul. And it contains the vision of TAFISA on where could we go with sport and sport for all. And it is the result of a development of 2 years, more or less. And we have talked a lot about how can sport and sport for all contribute to, and I mentioned it in the opening, it's a big word, but to a better world. We believe that sport and all the societal, personal, even financial dimensions and effects of sport really can do something to societies. And we have defined, together with a lot of stakeholders, 12 main topics. It's 2018 now, we say 2030, so 12 years, 12 topics where we believe that we can focus on during the next 12 years. I will not go through all of them. And I see that again it has moved a bit. I don't know when that happened. Yesterday evening it was still okay. But I will mention a few: education, social inclusion, gender equality, environment, health, physical literacy and play. We believe that as a network of organizations which are represented in 175 countries, we have, in Dutch we say, gold in our hands. It's sport for all and sport. It's an amazing tool we have to do something with the topics that I mentioned here. We are at the beginning of Mission 2030, so we are still as a board, as a steering committee of Europe, as a network, we are still now trying to find, but how are we going to do it? So we have had some real good ideas, and we will contact you also in the coming months to hear from you, what are you doing already? So, and what can we increase or strengthen? We felt, as I mentioned, we want to do more with the power of sport that we have in our hands. So we want to go for advocacy, lobbying, awareness building, but we also want to be responsible. TAFISA started many years ago as a very small organization. If you want to know everything about that, I would say talk to Wolfgang. He has beautiful stories about it, how small it all started. And look where we are now. It's not here, but we are seen as the leading global sport for all organization. And that gave us the feeling we have to take this step. We want to be responsible. And responsibility doesn't only go with writing a paper, because writing a paper you can do in a few months. But we have 12 years to take action, and that point is starting now. So we want to incorporate the 12 topics that we have in the mission, in our programs and events, in our policies and in our partnerships. So the content of Mission 2030, we want to weave it into everything we are doing for the coming 12 years. And we cannot force anyone, but we hope that also the organizations that are members of TAFISA find ways to contribute to either 1, 2, 5 or 10 or 12 or all the topics. Because then we can make a lot of development over the coming years. The 12 topics, it didn't go like that we had a good beer. Sometimes we have a good beer, but it's based on what the members of TAFISA think that is important. So we had a great survey in 2017. I guess many of you have replied, and based on all the replies, those 12 topics have come to a concrete suggestion. Again, the 12 topics, because as I mentioned, we hope that the organizations that are the members of TAFISA, which derives from ministries to universities to local organizations to international federations, but we know that for all organizations there are 2, 3, 5, we say hooks, where you can grab the topics of Mission 2030 and mention and find ways to relate to that. Also today, in the afternoon and in the morning, there will be presentations which are closely linked to the topics. For example, Elena Kor from Nike, she will talk about play, which is, was the last sheet, which is an important topic there. How do we want to do it? We want to share. We want to make what is successful in one school or community available to all, so that's gathering and disseminating. But we also want to find ways, what can we do for others? So increase cooperation on a national or international levels. And we want to facilitate exchanges between lesser and more developed states. As I mentioned, TAFISA is a unique network with partners all over the world. So if one country can help another country, we think that's very worthwhile. And again, the time to talk is over, because we know what Sport for All can do, but we really want to go and do something. And we want to lead in an efficient and effective way. And not only nowadays, we have a lot of focus on it, we want to do it in a very integral way. We want to be also a leading organization when it comes to integrity. Sport for All, even by RFC, TAFISA is seen as a good example of an organization with a lot of integrity. In the elite sport, we see doping, match fixing, etc. So for Sport for All, we should stay out of that and be an example of how you can work on sport in a very integral way. So please have a look at the document one of these days or in the afternoon. And the TAFISA office will in the coming months contact all organizations again to see how can you cooperate, contribute to the development. We are in a hurry, although it's 12 years, but we have to start things pretty soon. So that was it for Mission 2030 for now. Thank you very much. And if you have questions, go to the staff or to me or to get more information. Thank you.
Before the break, we'll have two more presentations.